In this video, we are going to talk about the 10 best places to visit in Japan. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Japan's culture, also referred to as the land of the rising sun, has existed for 30,000 years. The archipelago today smoothly combines its long history with its cutting-edge contemporary. While Tokyo, the nation's capital, is a must-see for first-timers, Japan has a lot more to offer tourists of all kinds. The fact that Japan is so diverse makes it the best tourist destination in the world. Where else can you take a futuristic bullet train to some of the oldest temples on Earth? But precisely because of this diversity of experiences, so many tourists find it difficult to organize a trip to Japan. One of the most exciting parts of planning a trip is choosing your next vacation spot. However, it can be daunting when looking for the top spots to visit in Japan. Every region has unique culinary offerings, outstanding tourist attractions, and numerous chances for an amazing adventure. Here are the 10 best places to visit in Japan. Number 10. Mount Koya, Wakayama. On top of Koyasan, a mountain in nearby Wakayama Prefecture, a Japanese monk by the name of Kakai sought sanctuary from the cosmopolitan intrigue of Kyoto, at the time, Japan's capital, in the early 9th century. The precipice is becoming a well-liked pilgrimage destination not only for Buddhists but for an increasing number of tourists. There are two primary routes to Mount Koya, which is home to the huge cemetery where Kakai himself is interred, as well as the Danjo-Garan temple complex. Take the Nankai Koya line train to its terminus at Gokurakubushi and then change to the Koyasan cable car if you choose not to go on the 5-7-hour climb from the trailhead that begins close to Kadoyama Station, which is technically a funicular railway, just FYI. Due to the vast array of experiences one might have there, Japan can be a frightening place to visit, but these are the finest of the greatest locations to visit in Japan. If you have a lot of time, visit every one of these locations. If you only have a short trip, visit a few. No matter where you wind up visiting on your subsequent trip to Japan, it won't be the last. Number 9. Kabira Bay, Okinawa. Speaking of bays, the one on the Okinawa Islands is possibly the most stunning piece of water in all of Japan. Kabira Bay, with its sugar-white sands, turquoise waters, and lush greenery, is situated along the northwest coast of Ishigaki, roughly an hour's flight from Okinawa's main island. Some people would say you're not. During the 19th century, the Japanese Empire gradually weakened the Ryukyu Kingdom's sovereignty over the whole Okinawa archipelago. In 1879, it was completely absorbed. Number 8. Hakodate Night View, Hokkaido. A video of a purportedly dancing squid became viral online a few years ago. The controversy thrust Hakodate, where the film was shot, into the spotlight, even though the fact behind this allegedly brutal movie is fairly innocent. Salt in the soy sauce triggers neurons of the dead squid to fire, resulting in muscle movement. We won't be highlighting either the Hakodate morning market or this Ikao Dori Don dancing squid bowl for the sake of this list. We would rather emphasize the night view from Mount Hakodate. It's a lovely way to take in Hakodate's distinctive cityscape, which is positioned in the middle of two bays. Number 7. Japanese snow monkeys, Nagano. The bad news is that the Onsen Hot Spring at Jigokodani, Hell Valley, near Nagano, which is on many people's bucket lists for Japan, is not swimmable. The good news is that you can get up close and personal with the famous red-faced macaques who can bathe here during your 45-minute hike there. Despite their well-known moniker, you don't have to go to this hot spring in the winter, although colder weather does enhance your chance of seeing monkeys in the wild. Because it is filthy with monkey waste and considerably hotter than sites where people often relax in the sun, be careful not to touch these creatures or go swimming with them. Number 6. Tanbori Pedestrian Street, Osaka. Speaking of Osaka, unlike what many people mistakenly think, this city is much more than just Tokyo's sidekick. Osaka is home to Japan's best street food. Despite an astonishing array of tourist attractions, Osaka Castle is the most famous example cited to dispute Himeji Castle's superiority. The crowded Tanbori pedestrian area in Osaka is the finest location for sampling the most street cuisine in the least period of time. Tanbori is a feast for the eyes as well as the taste buds, featuring dramatic sculptures of creatures present in its many specialties. There is a crab at its southern terminal above a Kani Daraku grilled crab restaurant and an octopus above a takoyaki fritter shop toward the north. Number 5. Tattooi Sand Dunes, Tattooi. The distance between Tattooi and Himeji by rail is only a few hours, but the parched terrain of the Tattooi sand dunes is incomparably different from the lushness of Himeji Castle. This Japanese desert is one of the most unusual landscapes in the nation. It was created over hundreds of thousands of years as a result of unusual wind patterns that dumped sediment from the Chugoku Mountains out of the Sendai River. In actuality, it's the only significant dune system in Japan. Locals, on the other hand, make the most of the peculiarities of the dunes. Residents of Tattooi Prefecture are aware that they live near a Japanese attraction that is not only incredible but also incredibly marketable because it keeps a camel on site for photo opportunities, but not for riding, and has roomy gift shops both at the park itself and in Tattooi, which is about 30 minutes away by bus. Number 4. Himeji Castle, Hyogo. Numerous castles can be found throughout Japan, yet some people claim that after a while, they all seem to resemble one another. We don't belong to this group of travelers, but if you do, there's a simple approach to lessen the impact this kind of conclusion will have on your trip. Visit the top castle in Japan right away. Most visitors and native Japanese believe that this is Himeji Castle, which is situated in the Kansai region's Hyogo Prefecture. Himeji Castle, often known as White Egret Castle because of its bleached exterior, is easily accessible from Kyoto or Osaka and is only 15 minutes from Himeji Station. A boat excursion across the castle's surrounding moat is a particularly stunning alternative during the early April cherry blossom season, when it is exceptionally beautiful. Number 3. Asakusa District, Tokyo. The bright lights of Shinjuku and the crowded Shibuya pedestrian crossing are what most people think of when they think of Tokyo. Even if these pictures are appropriately associated with Tokyo in the travel zeitgeist, Japan's capital is more about the differences between what it is now and what it once was than it is about such unique futuristic designs. Asakusa is the best place in Tokyo to illustrate this idea. Whether you choose to tour Asakusa on foot or by traditional rickshaw, you'll be astounded by the 7th century Senji Temple in addition to the towering Tokyo Skytree, the tallest building in Japan. Don't be surprised if you see people racing Mario Karts fly by you while you stroll along the Sumida River, which is indescribably lovely. Number 2. Ritsurin Garden, Takamatsu. One of Japan's most well-known global emblems is its Japanese gardens. But you won't truly understand their orderly beauty unless you visit Japan and wander through a few of the originals. On the underappreciated island of Shikoku, Ritsurin is my personal favorite Japanese garden. It is situated in the center of Takamatsu. Although few outsiders travel to Ritsurin, which was established in 1625 by a local feudal lord, Ritsurin is regarded by the Japanese as one of the best traditional gardens in Japan. Ritsurin is fortunately not too difficult to get to as Takamatsu is only a short local rail journey from Okayama, which is served by the Shinkansen bullet train. Number 1. Fushimi Inari Shrine, Kyoto. Fushimi Inari is the location shown in photographs that show a seemingly endless succession of bright orange torii gates in Japan. This expansive hillside temple is just 10 minutes from Kyoto Station by rail, but it feels like it is located hours outside of any large city, which is one of the reasons visiting it can be such an amazing experience. When considering what to do in this location, many visitors choose to trek all the way up to the shrine's viewpoint, which takes around 2 hours and provides a breathtaking view of Kyoto. You might also just go beneath a few hundred of the gates if you aren't a particularly active tourist. Despite how spiritual they seem, they are all sponsored by businesses. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and